Hi guys, how are you? I suppose all is great since we are here today, right? I'm super excited to host this event. It's been about 2 weeks since the previous webinar, right? And it's super nice that the Lemon.io company is continues making this series of events for the engineering managers to improve themselves as managers and as leaders. My name is Kate. I'm the head of sales at Lemon.io. We connect technological startups with the engineers worldwide. And today, I want you to meet our mighty speaker. It's Gregor Ojstersek. He's a VP of engineering at Zorion, and he's also an author at the end leadership.com newsletter, which is helping engineering managers to build high performing teams. Gregor is an engineering leader with a passion for solving complicated problems with innovative concepts. He loves learning new technologies. He loves sharing his experience and teaching others, which is what we are going to do today, right? He has built different teams in multiple companies. He's done hiring, building up team culture. He's been setting up the processes, the project direction, improving those processes. So today we have a lot to talk about. Hi, Gregor.
Hey, Kate. Wow, thanks a lot for that really great introduction.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you today. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but today we are going to talk about how business and engineering direction in the company should be aligned. It seems pretty obvious, but tell us what's the trick here.
Yeah, this is a really, this is a topic which I'm extremely passionate about, and it's really, you cannot state enough how important it is when business and technology is aligned together. And when it is aligned, just it's magical. You can make things happen really well, really solid, and it's really a great experience also working with a company where that is the norm.
Lovely. The stage is yours. Let's see what you prepared for us.
Thanks, Kate. So, hey everyone. First of all, thanks to Lemon.io for organizing this. Today we are going to talk about the importance of aligning business and technology. So this is a topic which is extremely important for the success of the company. Before we move on to the specific topic, yeah, just a few more words. I know Kate said a whole lot of things, but I just want to say a few more, which is, yeah, I'm now a CTO at Zorion. I was previously VP of engineering, but have grew to the CTO position. I have around 10 years experience as an engineer and also engineering leader, and I'm also an author on engineeringleadership.com. I help engineering leaders to build high-performing teams. If you're interested into checking out my blog, you can see the link here. Let's move on to the introduction. So technology has become really important to almost every business and industry, from smaller startups to bigger companies. Technology increases productivity, automate processes, and helps with growth. Sporadical use of technology might help a little, but what really helps is the alignment between technology and business strategy. Correct alignment is crucial for success of the business. Let's take a look what happens if technology and the business are not aligned. So not aligning business and technology can cause a number of different problems. Some of those problems include implementation not aligned with the business vision. Imagine that the business expects a delivery that contains the product X and technology delivers product Y. That can make a huge risk and can cause a huge amount of problems. A lot of things will need to be redone, or even worse, there is no turning back. So the business is forced to either accept the solution or not able to continue. Wasted resources, time and money. If a company is able to pivot or to redo a certain solution, that's good. But why should it even come to this scenario in the first place? The golden rule of the business is to try to generate as much as value to the business with the lowest amount of costs as possible. Wasting resources will not help the business with long-term plans. I'll share with you guys my experience when I first started taking more ownership and responsibility for different projects. I learned the importance the hard way, unfortunately. I remember taking on a particular project and feeling very driven and motivated to finish it with the highest quality possible. I worked also with another engineer at the time who was helping me. With my motivation to finish that project in a good way, I didn't properly communicate what is going to be done and how we are going to be doing it to the client. And at the same time, I didn't effectively delegate the tasks to my colleague. This brought me to the surprise response of the client because she expected some parts to be implemented differently. And my colleague felt like he wasn't able to continue the project the best way possible. Luckily, we still managed to make adjustments swiftly, but we could avoid that completely with better communication and transparency on what is going to be done. What did I learn from this? I learned that it's really important to ask as many questions as possible at the beginning of the project, and at the same time provide regular updates to the client, to the stakeholders. Teams build great software, not just one individual. And getting others involved is often more important than your own contribution. Communicating frequently and as early on to your teammates, as well as the stakeholders, this is the key to success to the project. Big reveals usually provide not expected deliverables, which can cause a lot of issues. The third thing that could happen when technology and business are not aligned is creating silos between different departments of the company. I also experienced that in one project, unfortunately. Not aligning tech with business, creating silos between departments in the company can cause misunderstanding and miscommunication between those departments. This can cause that every department is working for their own, only for their own benefits, instead of the benefits of the business. Imagine if product and engineering are blaming each other for unsuccess of the product, or sales is blaming engineering and product for not being able to deliver a certain feature. That is causing unnecessary traction in the company. Unnecessary, totally unnecessary. The best thing is when all the departments, when all the teams together are working towards the same goal. That's where the magic happens. Let's take a look what happens if technology and the business are aligned together. So when they're aligned together, it can lead to significant benefits. All of the negative points mentioned before would be resolved. But there are also some other benefits that were not mentioned before. Those benefits include departments move together to achieve goals. That's probably one of the best benefits, which really makes a huge difference. Imagine having a group of experts. They are all aligned together to try their best to achieve the most important goals and resolve the biggest issues for the company. That can be a huge competitive advantage. Automation of repetitive tasks. For every company, in order to be successful, automating is really, really important. For example, sending emails, automatic emails to customers to ask them about feedback or provide them with some valuable insights, or optimizing the sales process to have a lot of things prepared ahead of time. No need for manually contacting the customers. No need to manually create the full sales funnel. This can be all automated. Using data for business decisions. That is really, really important. I'm a big fan of companies that use data-driven data for making decisions, for making business decisions. I firmly believe that companies that are not using data for making decisions are not making good decisions. Storing all the valuable data in a structured way and being able to create business critical reports from it can make a huge difference in decision making. It's objective and at the same time very accurate. Having a strong focus on data can be a huge, huge competitive advantage. That's why I always recommend companies to invest resources into creating a good plan for storing all the data and reporting them. And the last thing, which is innovation. We all know our top companies at this time are all very innovative. They would not be top companies without the innovation. Innovation is what makes the difference between competitors. Having a strong technology behind the business can make a drastic, huge difference, and making fast improvements and adjustments in the current state of the market. You know, our current market is very changing. It's changing all the time. And if you cannot adapt to the market, what is the market looking for, you're going to be left behind. Who is responsible to make sure that technology and the business are aligned together? The obvious answer to this is that it is the responsibility of the leadership team, especially the leader in technology and the leader in product. But we can say that it is the responsibility of everyone in the company. It's important to include stakeholders as early as possible in the development process and make sure that the deliverables are aligned with the expectation of the business. For all the engineers in the company, I cannot state enough how important it is to ask business-oriented questions before making technical decisions. We will talk more about this in details in the next slide. For the rest of the people in the company from different departments, it's important to ask questions to engineers. Don't be afraid to ask questions or to just have a conversation with an engineer. To make sure if you have any doubts, you can successfully get context about that specific technology, about that specific approach. Engineers will gladly help you and explain it to you. Let's talk about next the importance of engineers for asking business-oriented questions. As an engineer, it's essential to ask those questions because it allows you to understand the context of your work and how it fits into the larger picture of the organization. By asking these questions, you can better align your work with the business goals and objectives, which in turn can lead to better outcomes for both the company and yourself as well. Here are 5 reasons why it's important for engineers to ask business-oriented questions. The first one is huge: better understand the customer. By understanding the business goals, engineers can develop solutions to better meet the needs of the customers. This is important because it ensures that the engineering work is focusing on delivering value to the end users, which can improve customer satisfaction, and also customer loyalty. Asking business-oriented questions also helps engineers to identify potential problems or areas for improvement that may not be immediately obvious from a technical standpoint. The next thing is improved collaboration. Engineers often work in different teams. They could be product teams. I like to call it cross-functional teams. And understanding the business objectives can improve communication and collaboration with other departments. By asking these questions, engineers can better understand the needs and expectations of other team members and work more effectively to try to resolve them and deliver better results by knowing all of the business-oriented things that are happening inside a company. The third thing, alignment with company goals. Every organization has specific goals and objectives that the company is working towards. By asking business-oriented questions, engineers can ensure that their work is aligned with these goals and that they're contributing to the success of the company. This can lead to better recognition, and also this can also offer career growth opportunities to the engineer. Improved decision-making. By asking business-oriented questions, engineers can better understand the impact of their work. This can help them to make more informed decisions about the solutions they develop and to prioritize their work based on the most important business objective. This can really drastically help to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and it's leading to better outcomes in general for the company. And the last thing, innovation. Once again, innovation. As I said before, by asking business-oriented questions, you guys as engineers can identify new opportunities for innovating. And this kind of opportunities cannot be immediately apparent from just technical perspective, because we get very details in technical implementation details that we often forget the big picture. This can lead to new development of new products or services that can help company to stay competitive in the market. And also, obviously, this can lead to the growth of the career of the engineer. Remember, ask business-oriented questions. This is extremely important as an engineer. I prepared some examples of great business-oriented questions that you can use when you are making your next technical decision. These questions should be asked to the person who is responsible or leading the project. Not all are relevant for all of the cases, so pick and choose what is relevant for your case. You can find quite a lot of really good questions to ask here. You can actually have them noted somewhere, and whenever you are trying to make a specific technical decision, you can go through these questions and see if you have answers to most of these questions. From questions, you can see those are really important. We need to understand as engineers why exactly are we building this thing? Why exactly are we building it now? How is it aligned with the business strategy? How will it affect our customers, and how will it affect our business? How can we make sure that the customers are going to love it? How can we bring it to the market? Should we even do it at all? Should we even do it at all? Are there any ethical considerations? What are the risks? Those are all important questions to ask before making an important technical decision. What are the ways to improve the alignment between business and technology? Improving alignment between business and engineering is essential for the success. Here are three main ways to improve alignment. The first one is regular communication. Encouraging regular communication between business and engineering teams is critical. Regular meetings such as sprint pre-planning meeting, retrospectives can provide an opportunity for both teams to discuss goals, priorities, and challenges. Clear and open communication helps to ensure that everyone is working towards the same goals and that everyone understands the constraints and requirements of each other. The second thing is collective planning. Collective planning sessions between business and engineering teams can help to ensure that everyone is on the same page. These planning sessions can help teams to identify different things like dependencies, prioritization, define a plan for upcoming sprints or projects. Collective planning sessions also help to ensure that everyone has a clear understanding of the requirements and constraints of each team. And the third thing is shared metrics. Setting shared metrics between both business and engineering teams can track and measure, can help to improve alignment. Metrics such as customer satisfaction, revenue, time to market can provide a common language for both teams. This can also help to ensure that everyone is working towards the same goals. Shared metrics also help to promote transparency, accountability across the organization. Let's go to regular communication first. Let's talk about how to improve it inside a company. So improving regular communication between the business and tech teams can really help to improve overall alignment. And the first thing is it increases productivity, it drives better business results. Here are the three main ways how we can improve the communication between business and tech. The first one, establish regular meetings. Setting up regular meetings between two teams can really help to ensure that the communication is correct and everyone is on the same page. These meetings could be sprint pre-planning meeting, retrospectives. Those can also be like certain check-ins to discuss progress, or a certain meeting to address any issues or concerns. Open culture, foster an open culture. Encouraging an open and transparent culture can help to improve the overall alignment and communication between business and tech. Leaders are the ones who need to set tone for this by encouraging the way communication, open communication, listening actively, and leaders are also the one who are promoting the idea of sharing ideas and sharing feedback between individuals, not only inside one team but also across team. I'm talking about sales, marketing, product, engineering, and some other teams as well. And then the third one is collaborative tools. Using tools such as different project management software or different communication platforms can really help to align teams together. These tools can act as a shared space for the teams to collaborate, share updates, and track progress, making it easier to stay aligned and ensure that everyone is always working towards the same goals. Let's talk about next about the leadership alignment meeting. This meeting is crucial for technology and the business to be aligned together because it provides an opportunity for different leaders in different departments from all of different teams to discuss strategy, goals, and also priorities. This meeting helped to ensure that everyone is working towards the same objectives and that all teams are aligned around the organization's overall mission and also the vision. Oops. The three main reasons why leadership alignment meetings are crucial are: the first one is shared vision. The shared vision provides a clear direction for the organization and helps to ensure that everyone is working towards the same goals. The second one is strategic alignment. By discussing strategy, goals, and priorities, leadership alignment meetings can help to ensure that everyone is strategically aligned. This alignment helps that all the resources are allocated appropriately and that everyone is working on projects that align with your organization's overall goals and objectives. And then the third one is resource allocation. The meeting is ensuring that all of the different resources are allocated towards the most important goals that the company is trying to achieve. By discussing the priorities, the trade-offs, leaders can make those informed decisions how to properly allocate resources, which helps to ensure that all the teams have the resources they need to be successful. Let's talk about collective planning, how to introduce it or how to improve it. Introducing collective planning is a great way to increase collaboration between the teams, and I'm going to explain to you why in 5 steps. The first step is communicate the benefits. If you want to introduce the collective planning between different departments, you need to get the buy-in first. So it's important to communicate the benefits to, for example, the leadership team or other teams who are involved in your process. You need to explain the benefits of collective planning. Collective planning ensures that everyone is working towards the same goals. Resources are allocated effectively, and that everyone is aligned together with the overall mission, vision of the organization. The next thing, how we can set up collective planning, is to set up cross-functional teams. We never want to have isolated teams which are just very, very specific, because they can get quite quickly operated, that they can quite quickly start operating as a silo. We always want to think about how to create cross-functional teams that include both tech and business team members. These teams should be responsible for planning and executing projects. And these teams also ensure that everyone is working together towards the same objectives. Develop a shared language. That's really, really important. Developing a shared language between different teams, business and technological teams, can really help to ensure that everyone is on the same page, that there are no misunderstandings or miscommunications. Application can mean differently for the tech team, that it can mean something different for sales, marketing, or some different department. The next step is establish a planning process. Establishing a planning process that includes all the teams that are affected by the deliverables is really important. This process should include a regular planning session where all the teams can share ideas and work together to develop a plan that aligns with the overall organization's goals and also set priorities accordingly. Remember, not only tech team is working on this specific thing, but we have the whole company aligning and moving towards the same goal. And the last one is regularly review the progress. Regularly reviewing the progress towards the collective plan ensures that you are on track to achieve your objectives. These reviews should include both tech and the business teams, so that everyone is aware of the progress, challenges, and opportunities for improvements. Let's talk about sprint prep planning meeting next. A sprint prep planning meeting is really, really important in agile software development. And it can really help to improve the alignment between tech and business. Here are 3 main points why sprint planning can help with alignment. The first one is collaboration. A sprint prep planning meeting brings together the leaders in technology and the business teams to collaborate on planning for the upcoming sprint. Again, this ensures that everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goals. The business team normally provides inputs and priorities and requirements, while the tech team can provide feedback, feasibility, and technical constraints. This collaboration helps enormously to improve understanding and alignment between the two teams. The next thing is clarity. The sprint prep planning meeting provides an opportunity to clarify objectives and requirements for the upcoming sprint. By discussing and also documenting the goals of the sprint, everyone understands what are the deliverables going to be after the end of the sprint. That's the way how sales, marketing, product, other departments can prepare for things in advance. That's the way how teams can get aligned and also focused on achieving the same outcomes. It helps to reduce misunderstandings, and also it helps to remove rework in during the sprint or in the next sprint. The third thing, which is probably the number one most important thing, is transparency. And the sprint prep planning meeting provides transparency into the planning process for both technology and business teams. Every team shares information and discuss priorities and requirements for the sprint. All of the teams know exactly what decisions have been made, understand the trade-offs that were considered. Transparency builds trust between the teams. The only way to build trust between different teams in the company is to be transparent and showcase exactly what is your thinking process, what is your overall process, what are your goals, how are you going to tackle the solutions. Not going into technical details, but I'm talking more about making sure that people understand and know how you're approaching that specific problem. This can help enormously. Transparency is the number one thing that can help the engineering organization to be successful. Let's take a look at shared metrics. Remember, this is the third thing that can help aligning business and technology. And OKRs. What are OKRs? OKRs, or objectives and key results, are a popular goal-setting framework that has been really used by a lot of different organizations to set and also to track progress towards achieving the goals of the company. OKRs consists of 2 parts, the objective and the key results. The objective is specific, should be measurable, and also should be time-bound, that an individual or a team wants to achieve. The objective should be ambitious, yet should be also achievable, and should align with the overall strategy and mission of the organization. The objectives should answer the question, what do we want to achieve? The key results are also specific. They should also be measurable. They should also be time-bound. They are the metrics that track progress towards achieving the objective. Key results should be quantifiable and objective and should provide clear indication of whether the objective has been achieved. The key results should answer the question, how will we know when we have achieved our objective? That's really important. OKRs are typically set on quarterly basis and are designed to be flexible and adaptable to changing circumstances. They're meant to be more of a stretch goal. They're meant to be there for challenging individuals or teams to achieve more than they might have thought possible. One of the benefits of the OKR framework is that it encourages transparency and alignment across organization. When everyone is working towards clearly defined and measurable goals, it's easier to see how different teams and individuals are contributing to the success of the organization. Let's talk about next how to actually write OKRs. Writing clear and effective OKRs requires a clear understanding of the organization's goals and priorities. OKRs should be challenging, but also achievable, as we said before. Your OKRs should be enough challenging that they are motivating to achieve those objectives. They should stretch your team and require them to think creatively, but they should also be at the same time realistic, and they should be also achievable. The second thing, they should be measurable. We should know at the end of the quarter how far we have came to finish this particular objective. We can use specific metrics, percentages, numbers, or different other methods to find out if we have achieved this objective. So yeah, step one is to define your objectives. As I said, they should be clear, specific, and measurable. And they should be also preferably aligned with the overall goals and priorities of the organization. Start by identifying the most important things you want to achieve over the next quarter or a year. The step two is to identify your key results. Key results are specific, measurable, again, outcomes that will help you achieve your objectives. They should rather be focused on outcomes and not so much on the inputs. For each objective, identify 2 to 3 key results that will help you measure progress towards the objective. It's important. 2 to 3 is really important. 1 is not enough. 2 to 3 is really great. I have added here an example of how would, for example, an engineering OKR look like. You can see the objective: improve website response time. The key results are average page load time. We want to increase the average page load time by 30%. We want to increase the score on page speed insights to at least 90 for desktop and mobile version. And we want to implement a content delivery network, CDN. Those are all very achievable. Those are all very measurable. And they provide a good way to track, have you been successful on achieving this objective? Let's talk about introducing OKRs to your engineering team and how does this help to align with the business. So OKRs can really help to be transparent, to make sure that the business, the other departments understands what objectives and what key results is the tech team going to be either handling, achieving by the end of this quarter. Here are 3 main ways which OKRs can help with alignment. The number 1 is shared objectives. By setting shared objectives between, for example, like you want to align your engineering objective with a company-wide objective. In this way, the business and the tech team is working towards the same goal. This helps to ensure that the work of the tech team is aligned with strategic objectives of the business. For example, if the business is focused on increasing customer satisfaction, the tech team can set objectives related to improving the speed or reliability of the product or service. The next one is clear measurement. OKRs provides a way to measure progress and success. This helps not only the tech team, but also all of the other business teams to see how well is everyone performing on achieving those objectives. By that setting key results, again, specific, measurable, and also time bound, all of the teams can track their progress. They would know exactly how does success look like for this particular objective. And people will really understand the efforts that are needed to achieve the desired outcomes. And then the next thing, this one is also probably the number one most important thing why OKRs are really good to have them in the engineering team, which is continuous improvement. They provide a great way of not stagnating in a place, but they provide a great way of continuously improving, for example, the code base, the testing, the process, the collaboration, and so on. By continuously reviewing and updating objectives and key results on a regular cadence, all the teams can learn from their success and failures and make adjustments as needed to improve their processes and achieve better results. This helps enormously to ensure that technology team, for example, if we have the OKRs in the technology team, is aligned with not only the business, but is always striving towards being better. And that's how we can keep ourselves accountable. By creating ambitious, also achievable objectives and not stagnating in a place where we are not making improvements. I firmly believe that if we are not making improvements, we are stagnating. I prepared 8 examples of OKRs that can be used for any engineering team. Besides, for example, company-wide objectives, I always like to implement engineering objectives for my teams. And what's important here to note is that I always want that the team defined the key results for the objectives. It increases the drive and motivation to achieve those objectives. Let's take a look at some examples of OKRs I prepared. You can use those objectives for your engineering team, and obviously you can adjust based on your needs and as we said before, to be optimistic and also achievable, ambitious, and you can make small improvements and you will already have a great structure of different improvements that you can implement, for example, for the next quarter. So the first one we already talked about, improving the website response time. I already mentioned some of the key results here. The second, improving the code quality. This is what we always as engineers strive towards. For example, increasing the code test coverage, introduce monthly code quality workshops, implement code quality checking tool. Improve application security. Maybe we want to perform a security audit. Maybe we need a two-factor authentication. Improve the product development process. Pick an agile methodology if you don't have it already. Include an agile coach. Standardize the process across teams. Hire and retain great talent. This is what all engineering teams strive towards. We want to onboard, for example, hire and onboard 6 new team members. That's how we are keeping ourselves accountable, by setting this objective and making sure we are striving towards achieving this objective. Implement 3 improvements in the onboarding process. Improve team collaboration and morale. This is a little bit harder to track because it's a little bit less measurable, but you can define a clear plan on how to improve it. For example, implement a regular feedback system. Conduct a team building activity once a month. Implement a knowledge management system. And have all the team members contribute to at least 1 article. Reducing technical debt. That's always a very interesting topic to talk about. And every engineering team is suffering for a technical debt. Let's try to reduce it as much as possible. We want to do the assessment We want to create a plan to address the technical debt. We want to reduce it for at least 20%. Improve the release process and frequency. Some of the key results can be increase the number of releases per month by 50%, reduce the average time it takes to conduct the release, improve the flakiness of the pipeline. To sum up, by integrating technology and business together, the company is able to achieve their objectives and maintain their position in today's market. Making sure that the technical implementation is aligned with business goals is crucial. And the only way to achieve that is to bring all the important stakeholders from both technical and business side of the organization together to communicate and collaborate on a regular basis. Thank you for your time. This is all from my side. You can find also my socials if anyone is interested into connecting with me. Here are my socials. If there are any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Gregor, for your presentation. I was listening to what you've been talking about, and I was reading the presentation. And the fun fact is that before this event, I've read your blog, and that was exactly about the OKRs. I didn't expect you would also put it here. I have a question about that. But before I ask my questions, I want to make sure that the questions from the guys here in chat are read and answered. To everyone who's listening to us, we are going not only answer your question, but also the best question is going to win a prize from Lemon.io. So be active, put your questions, and we will choose the best one at the end of the session. Let me see what we have here. And yeah, we have the questions so far. The first one is from Dima. The question is how to differentiate good and bad product teams.
Awesome. That's amazing question. We could have like we could have another presentation just to talk about this. There are so many ways how we can differentiate good versus bad product teams. I've also written a blog post about this on engineering and engleadership.com. You can check out that for more details. But really, I want to first break down the differentiation between product teams and feature teams. Product teams are the ones who are striving towards improving customer experience. Feature teams are striving towards completing the features. And this alone answers a lot of questions. If the team is just focusing on completing the feature, that's a bad product team, right? We often call product teams nowadays like product teams are just like normal teams, but I want to make a differentiation here between product and feature teams. So if you're thinking about the customer, if you're thinking about the business, if the whole team is trying to improve the business as a whole, customer experience is continuously trying to improve how the features are looking like. Are they better? Are they offering better experience to users? They're a lot better product teams as others. And I would also recommend here reading a good book from Marty Keegan. I can remember the title right now, but I can try to remember after. Which is exactly talking about how to differentiate good versus bad product teams. And I also have around 12 different kind of differentiation between good and bad product teams. But yeah, the number one thing is you need to focus on the customer and the business. And if you're only focusing on the features, then you're a bad product team. That's I would say. That's how you can differentiate good versus bad product teams.
Love it. Dima, I hope we also have found your answer here. And we have the other question from Mehdi. First of all, hi Gregor, thanks for your time and the presentation. I do agree with that. Question is, how do you prevent meetings between tech and business teams turning into let's pitch a new product sessions?
Yeah, that's also a really good question. Someone needs to moderate it. Someone needs to be responsible for the meeting. Someone is the owner of the meeting, and you need to set a clear agenda of what are we going to talk about. And you need to set clear agenda. You need to, for example, if you have a first pre-planning meeting, you want to clearly set expectations of this meeting. If someone is trying to pitch ideas, you need to say, hey, we are talking about work for the next sprint. You need to define clear agenda. The best thing is to put the agenda in the meeting description, so everyone knows exactly, hey, here, this is what we are going to talk about. And the owner of the meeting needs to moderate it. That could either be the leader in product or the leader in technology. And it should be focused on what are we going to achieve the next sprint. We can pitch ideas, we can have pitching sessions, but they could be different meetings. So you need to be firm, you need to moderate it, and you need to set clear expectations of what do you want to achieve in the meeting.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So you're now talking about like cross-functional cooperation, and somewhat similar question from myself is, so you've done a great presentation on the OKRs, and the examples were really, really cool. I read them before this event, and I wanted to ask if you find the cross-functional OKRs good ones, but you already answered that question. And if the other teams have objections and they don't want to set cross-functional OKRs, did you face that? And if so, what are these objections typically?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that could happen because every team can have a different vision and can also have a different understanding what does success look like. But what I would recommend here for companies is to map the objectives to the company goals. So, for example, you have an engineering objectives, and then you map it to the company objectives. And then, for example, marketing team has also marketing objectives. Sales team has sales objectives. And then you map it to the company objective. So those, for example, engineering, sales, and marketing, those are kind of a peer OKRs. They're all towards the same company objective. They're not interfering with each other. Obviously, people in different departments know about them, but you're mapping them to the company-wide objective. That's how you can resolve a lot of issues. If the marketing team or a sales team or product team or engineering team doesn't agree with the company-wide objectives, then we have a huge problem. Then we have to sit down on a meeting and really talk about, hey, what's going on here? Why are we not aligned on the company objective that we want to achieve for this quarter?
Makes perfect sense. Thank you. Guys, we have about 5 minutes, so make sure you put your questions and we have time to answer them. We have Ahmad here with us, and he's asking, how can we use AI tools to streamline those processes more? Their business model at Gaper.io is very similar to Lemon.io, and I feel that it's essential to integrate AI in our processes right now. Any insights on that?
Yeah, that's very interesting. Obviously, AI is becoming really, really popular at these times, and anything that can help you to automate your processes or automate your alignment between different departments inside a company, that's the way to go. I know there are so many different models available that can offer you a lot of different things. I would recommend researching all different models that AI models that are offer, and try to find for your particular case what model could be useful for you. There are a lot of APIs available, for example, in OpenAI that you can use to example calculate something that could help you to define, for example, company-wide objectives or define engineering objectives. You can also automate a lot of things, documentation. You can automate the process via using different AI tools. Automate also the collaboration. I know I heard also a lot about customer support automation via AI tools. I think that's not there yet, but it could get there quite easily with a little bit more work on it. So there's so many things we can do here to to help us automate as much as possible. And this is why the importance of technical and business alignment is, because then we can achieve those things. If tech team understands what business problems are we facing, we as engineers, we know how to tackle them, and we are in love with AI. And I'm sure that every engineer you're going to ask to try to find a solution via AI about something is going to be really happy to investigate that.
Yeah, that was probably the best question about real alignment between business needs and technical possibilities. Okay, cool. I did not see if we have more questions, so if any of them pops up, I'll read them. But the other question from me, you've been talking about the collaborative tools, but you didn't name any of them. Probably Jira, but everyone knows Jira. Is there any other one tool that is not that popular, maybe
Yeah.
that you've used and you'd recommend?
Yeah, obviously, we are using ClickUp in our company Zorion, and it's working quite well. But we are using ClickUp at this time currently for engineering team and product team. We are not using it company wide. So we tried to use it, but it was a little bit um, how to say, too much of a hassle to operate with other departments. But Notion is the best tool, I would say, for collaborating. We use it for everything, alignment between different departments. We use it for documenting things, processes, all the things. We also use quite heavily Figma to
Mhm.
have like a brainstorming sessions together with different departments. We bring different departments together and try to brainstorm different solutions on particular feature on that particular thing. Obviously, Miro is a really good tool. I used Miro quite a lot in the past to for brainstorming sessions. Again, bringing all the people together in the meeting. Someone is sharing the screen and is actually running the brainstorming session. So those tools are really, really important, especially in a remote environment. If you are remotely working on if you're a remote company, tools like Miro, Figma, and obviously Notion, though, those are the must-have three. Obviously, if you have Figma or Miro, both can do almost the same things, but they are really extremely valuable when brainstorming and collaborating together.
Yeah, couldn't agree more on Notion and Figma for sure.
Yeah.
All right, it looks like we've taken 1 hour so far. I don't want to take more of your time, guys. Gregor has shared his contact details, so add him on LinkedIn, chat more after this session, make more connections. And Gregor, thank you a lot for making this session today. It was very
Thank you for
nice,
having me.
interesting, super useful. Some listeners have found new ideas. Some of them have just heard what they knew, but what is important to know and how to set the objectives, how to work with other teams. Thank you so much. Let's stay in touch, and I'll be happy to see everyone on our new next event in 2 weeks. Uh, I forgot something. That was supposed to be the end of the session, but we didn't choose the best question, did we?
I think we haven't.
We didn't.
So hi guys, we didn't, but we have still choice because I'm not ending the broadcast. So special opportunity.
Okay. Gregor, you choose the best question.
Yeah, so obviously you guys can also have a say in this, but I like Ahmed questions about AI tools.
About
I
AI
agree.
tools.
Yeah.
I agree. That's right. Ahmed, please send me a message to LinkedIn and I will send you our amazing, brilliant, fabulous gift. Bye. Thank you very much and see you on the
See
next
you. Thank you,
Lemonade
Yuli, for
Talks.
organizing all of this. Have a nice evening. See you.
Bye.